We had that problem in the cafeteria. I told you very specifically, don't do it again. You said, yes, Mr. MacKenzie, no problem, it won't happen. What happens today? The exact same thing. Now, this is twice I've talked to you. It's gotta stop. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me? Do I need to clarify anything?
No, sir.
Okay. I've known you for a while. You've never had trouble like this before. I want it to stop, okay?
Yes, sir.
That's a CMS way.
What have you done other than being a principal?
Well, a long time ago, I worked cutting lawns. And I did that for quite a few years. I did that for 4 years. Have my own little business besides having my own business at a college during the summer. And that was hard, but I liked it. I made some pretty good money back then for being a kid, you know. And I also worked as a counselor at camps. And I actually worked in some department stores for a short period of time. That really wasn't my cup of tea, you know. I just did that, all those brief little jobs. And but most of the time I've been working with kids throughout my entire career. So,
If you weren't a principal, what would you be and why?
The other career I was considering was to be an eye doctor, an optometrist. But I think it's too late for that. You know, I'm 65 years old. I don't think they're going to admit a guy into optometry school at age 65, so I don't think that's going to happen. I love sports. I would like to work for a sports franchise. You know, I'd like to work for the Atlanta Falcons, you know, not as a coach, but in the front office, working with personnel, maybe contracts, some sort of thing like that. That would be exciting to me.
Were you ever a teacher, or would you want to be?
I was a teacher for 14 years, yes, and I felt I was a very successful teacher, and I liked the job immensely. So I loved it. Just felt I went home every night. I felt good just about every single day. I mean, the same thing as a principal. It's a very satisfying job. You know, I don't like to have the tough things that you have to do as a principal and as a teacher. That doesn't dominate my thinking. Okay, I try to wipe those off and try to learn from them. And if something similar happens the next time, just do better and know how to handle it the best way possible. But yes, I had 14 years in the classroom and very enjoyable.
How long have you been in Cartersville City Schools?
Only been in Cartersville City Schools 8 years. 8 years. But I've been in education 44 years. You probably don't even think I'm 44 years old, you know, but I know it's hard for you to believe that, but you know, most people think I'm very, very young, you know, but no, I've been in Cartersville City Schools for 8 years and feel like I'm almost a Cartersvillian by now, you know, feel almost like a Cartersvillian.
Why do you enjoy being a principal?
Pretty much like all the types of people I deal with. So first of all, I like talking with kids. I like complimenting kids. I like helping kids. I like teachers because they are dedicated. They're there to help kids, and I like the parents because most of the parents, most occasions they're very supportive. They're there to help their child. And I've never met a parent yet who doesn't want their child to succeed. The day I meet a parent that doesn't want their child to succeed, I want to take them out back, you know, and have a different conversation with them. I've never met one yet. Now, sometimes those parents can be difficult because their child is not doing the right thing. I'm the principal. I have to give them punishment. And sometimes that's difficult. And, but I have to think, as long as they're being reasonable, they're just trying to take up for their kid who's not doing what they want just as much as they're not doing what I want either. So they're not happy. So, but for the most part, my relations with parents has been very positive. So I don't say to you, well, I like working with the kids and the teachers, but I don't like working with the parents. Or I like working with the parents, but the kids, oh gosh, no, I hate them. No, all three major components I like working with. Major components in my mind are students, staff, parents. So that's what makes my job good.
What is your favorite part about the school system as a whole?
Well, what's best for me right now is being in Carswell City Schools for 8 years. My students in my first class are graduating from high school right now. So those fifth graders, when I was principal at the elementary school, this is the year that they're graduating. So it is so much fun for me to go to plays, chorus concerts, sporting events, which I go to just about all the sporting events, and I just see kid after kid after kid that I know, And I remember when they were in third grade or fourth grade, and it's fun for them, for them to come up, hey, Mr. MacKenzie, how you doing? And I go, man, you've changed, and so that's a blast for me. I can't tell you how much fun that is for me. I've been looking forward to this year because it was the year so now pretty much 85% of the kids from fourth grade to 12th grade, I pretty much have dealt with over the years. I've probably been their principal. So that is, again, it's very exciting for me. That's just fun.
How well do you get along with your coworkers?
Well, I try to get along well with all of them. I think sometimes, and maybe it is true, sometimes they think that maybe I have too high of expectations, and I try not to have too high expectations, but if I do, I try to err on that side, because I think that if you have high expectations, you will get better results. So I want to believe I get along well with them, but sometimes they may think that, but for the most part, I just know the feedback I've received from other schools I've worked, the feedback from them has been extremely positive. They thank me. So they knew my heart was in the right place,
Have you been a principal or a teacher for any other schools?
Yes, I've been a assistant principal at 2 schools, principal at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 schools. So I have a wealth of experience. One of those schools I was principal at I was actually principal of just for a couple months, and I was still the principal of another school. So I really shouldn't count 5. I should just count 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 schools.
Have you been a school principal through any bad incidents of any kind?
Yes. Some of the worst incident was we had a student who was in my 3rd grade. He was killed in a horrible bus accident in Carswell City Schools, and I'll never forget. I will never forget till the day I die. It just those ones hurt.
Thank you, Mr. MacKenzie. That'll be all for your interview.
Thank you very much. You guys want some candy? Good morning, this is Mr. MacKenzie, principal. How you doing? Yes, I got your message. I was aware of that Friday afternoon, and I am calling that student down in about 10 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get an update of exactly what happened, and then I will then discuss it with your son, and I'll give you a call back. So I will probably get back to you by 11:30 at the latest today. Is that okay with you? Is there anything else you wanna ask me about that? Okay. All right, I'll be back to you by 11:30, okay? Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. McKenzie. Go Canes.